Picture this. You walk into the room and she notices. Not because you shout or chase her attention, but because you belong in the moment. Imagine weaving your presence into her world so that each glance, each word, draws her in naturally, effortlessly. The secret begins with emotional responsiveness. Instead of making demands, tune in deeply. When she shares something, even a small thought or joke, listen with genuine curiosity. Mirror back what she feels, nod, maintain warm eye contact, show you're fully present. This kind of undivided attention over time becomes a magnetic force. Each time you truly see her, she'll feel it and want more. Let your actions speak louder than words. A thoughtful gesture, a kind word, a simple text, thinking of you out of the blue, or a touch at just the right moment, says, "You matter." These small rituals, send a check-in message, notice something she mentioned yesterday, say, "Thank you for the little things." They build intimacy faster than grand declarations. Your own life is magnetic. Pursue interests, friendships, growth. When you bring new energy, hobbies, stories, self-expansion into the relationship, she feels drawn in by your vitality. This idea comes from the self-expansion model. People are attracted to growth, to new experiences, to someone who's evolving. Your growth becomes shared joy, a journey you two take together. Communication without neediness is subtle. Rather than demanding attention, you invite connection. You might say something like, "I'd love to spend some time together this weekend. When would work best for you?" Saying what you want, calmly, without blame or pressure. It keeps it collaborative, not confrontational. Trust and empathy anchor attention. Learn to notice her emotional bids, the small signals, gestures, jokes, or sighs that say, "Connect with me." Respond, not with critique or indifference, but with warmth or playful engagement. Turning toward these bids again and again builds secure attachment and emotional safety. Touch is powerful. A gentle hand on her back, a playful brush of her arm, a lingering hug. These speak louder than any words. Nonverbal touch communicates affection, appreciation, closeness. It's been shown to reduce stress and deepen connection. Use it naturally, not robotically. Let it reinforce how you feel without words. Eye contact matters. Subtle gaze craft, that slow shift between her eyes and mouth, pausing to let connection sink in, can spark intimacy. Use it sparingly and sincerely. Don't stare, just meet her gaze with warmth. It sends a message. I see you, I'm with you, and without forcing anything. Vulnerability builds trust. When you share small personal things, your hopes, fears, dreams, it invites reciprocity. When she opens up, listen. Be safe for her to do so. Don't overshare too fast, but gradually share more as she does. This mutual self-disclosure deepens emotional closeness. Respect boundaries and independence. Avoid clinginess by maintaining your own world, your friends, your interests. If you feel anxious, resist sending constant messages. Instead, cultivate your self-assurance. Needing love is human, but turning it into a source of confidence rather than insecurity makes you more attractive, not less. Find joy together. Laugh often. Make memories, little inside jokes, shared routines. Plan surprise date nights or revisit places you both love. Novelty releases dopamine, reminds the brain why you're exciting. Regular positive interactions build long-lasting emotional bonds. Empathy is magnetic. When she's upset or stressed, don't minimize. Instead, step into her experience. Say aloud something like, "I can see why that hurt you," or "It makes sense you'd feel that way." It creates emotional safety, and that draws her in deeper. When you ask for more attention, do it with dignity. Say it simply. "I really enjoy spending time with you. How can we create more of that?" Tone calm, approach collaborative. If she can't respond, reflect inward. Maybe something's going on with her. Don't pressure, observe, and adjust. What this all creates is a rhythm. You show up fully, you stay grounded, you grow, and you invite her in. You hold attention not through desperation, but because you belong in her world, with respect, empathy, and deep presence. So let the camera drift through everyday scenes, you catching her eye across the room, you pausing your phone as she talks, you laughing together over something silly, you text checking in when she's busy, and you leaning in with a hug that says, "I'm here." That's the script of magnetic attention, natural, genuine, unwavering. Hold her attention not by chasing it, but by being someone whose presence she naturally chases back. Now, if you've come this far, you already understand something most people miss entirely. Attention isn't something you demand, it's something you attract. It's not won by louder words, flashier gestures, or relentless messages. It's held by the energy you bring into the space, the way you see her, and more importantly, how you see yourself. You don't have to beg to be important in someone's life. When you're grounded in who you are, when you live with clarity, purpose, and care, that presence alone does the heavy lifting. You become unforgettable not because you chase her, but because you show up with intention and leave a positive emotional imprint every single time. And look, there's nothing weak about wanting connection, but real strength is when you can want her attention without losing your self-worth in the process. It's saying, "I'd love for us to connect," not, "I need you to validate me." That shift from neediness to value changes everything. The people who hold attention the longest are the ones who remain curious. They ask questions that go beneath the surface. They listen not to respond, but to understand. They're not just interesting, they're interested. And in a world full of distractions, that kind of focus stands out like a flame in the dark. Let's be real. Women are perceptive. They notice when someone is overextending just to win them over. They sense desperation in a heartbeat, but they also sense confidence, authenticity, calmness. So when you engage without pressure, when you offer your presence with no strings attached, it creates safety. And from that safety, real attention flows. Sometimes it's not even about what you do. It's about how you carry yourself in silence, the way you walk, the calm in your voice, the steadiness in your eyes, the patience when things feel uncertain. That non-verbal power tells her more about your character than any speech ever could. You don't have to prove your worth every day. You just have to live it. When you hold space for her thoughts, her dreams, her frustrations, and when you do it without judgment, you're not just holding attention, you're earning trust. And trust? That's the bridge to long-term emotional connection. That's what keeps her mentally, emotionally, and even physically invested. So maybe the real magic isn't in the chase at all. It's in being so grounded, so at peace with who you are, that you naturally create room for someone else to step closer. It's not about taking her attention, it's about inviting it. And if ever you feel like she's drifting away, remember, attention fades when authenticity fades. The solution isn't to panic, it's to check in with yourself. Are you showing up as the version of you that's passionate, curious, kind? Or have you started molding yourself into someone you think she wants? Because the truth is, the most magnetic version of you isn't the one who tries harder. It's the one who's simply real. So hold her attention the way the sun holds the earth, not by gripping it tightly, but by simply shining. Consistent, bright, reliable, a presence that can be counted on. That's what leaves a lasting impression. And here's the final truth. When you master this, when you learn how to hold her attention without begging, you're not just transforming your relationships, you're transforming your sense of self. You become someone who's aligned, someone who's attractive, not for what they have, but for who they are. That's the power you hold. And now, it's yours to use.